Guys, what's up? We'll come at you with a short report. I'm just going to jump into it, guys. Give you guys today is the 18th, January 18th, 2021, and yeah. So I got you over here at the Schumann, and yes, we had a spike here, guys. You know, it is what it is. If you're having ringing in your ears, there you go. Could be it. If not, if you don't think it, that don't automatically assume this is what's going on with this. Okay. If you got stuff going on physically, please eliminate actual physical ailments before you go blaming everything on this. But also mention this to your doctor, because they're now taking this serious, just so everybody knows. Heart doctors especially. But the 20 hertz level anomaly we've been talking about is still there. Not sure why. If people don't know what the Schumann is here, it is the heartbeat of the earth. It is our vibrational frequencies. Yeah, so that's what it is. If you guys want more info on what this actually is, please go over to Verte Alberto's channel and check him out over there. He will explain down to detail what this tool is showing you. Just know that the Schumann and everything is frequency. Frequency touches everything because of that, and it's a very powerful thing. So it can cause physical issues, and it can actually help physical issues depending on what we're talking about. So also, you can research Dr. Rife. Go back and look up Dr. Rife, R-I-F-E, and you will be surprised in what you see, just so you know. It's he basically did a study back in the day, and it was about cancer patients, and he cured a lot of cancer patients with frequencies. So just so you guys know, go check it out. R-I-F-E. Space weather conditions. There you go with that. X-rays up here. This is what we look at for flares. We had a small flare, but it's the most substantial one there. Notice how our baselines kind of come up, and that's because we got sunspots facing us now. Proton flux, not going to talk much about that. That's what we look at for radiation storms, and nothing's going on there. Geomagnetic activity. We expect this to be on the rise. Okay. We had two big coronal holes that rotated through, and we're going to be getting geomagnetic unrest because of it. Charged particles are coming our way right now. We got a little bit of hit here. It could be the beginnings of it. Not sure yet, but we'll have to wait and see. NOAA's predictions on what's going on with that is right here. Okay, so what you're seeing is January 18th, 19th, and 20th. These numbers represent the KP level right here. And these KP numbers directly relate to geomagnetic storm levels. If we get to a KP of 5, that means a G1 storm. 6, G2 storm. Okay, and I went over multiple times what we can expect during each storm level. Not going to do that today because that takes a lot of time to do. I'll do that if we get into storm levels. I'll come back with you guys and show you guys what we can expect to see. A G level 1 storm ain't going to give you much, just so you know. Increased aurora, maybe an uptick in earthquakes. That's basically what we see. Anyway, their predictions here, and this is NOAA's predictions. They're predicting, a 4 on the KP, 3s and 2s, a general uptick because of that solar wind stream. Okay? First look at your sun. Coronal holes are still there. Alright, see these? We're probably connected maybe to this one right now. We're getting ready to probably switch over and connect to that one too. As this one rotates in, the Earth is kind of right here. So when it goes right in front of us, we definitely connect to it and get an increase in solar wind, and it gives us geomagnetic unrest. So we can experience things from that. Notice also this sunspot. It made it around the sun for the 3rd time. They don't typically do that. They do happen sometimes like this, and I even mentioned that before. This time it happened to survive, but let me show you something interesting on that end of it. Visible light. You see it here? Let me zoom in. This is visible light. See it right there? But notice as I drag the time, this is a movie tool, so I can drag it back a little bit. It was just one hole or one sunspot. It's splitting into 2. See it right there? So that means it's going to go from 2 2 poles to 4. It'll have a positive and negative on both sides. If that completely splits in two like that, that thing will probably become more active, because those two separate sunspots now will be extremely close to each other, and they will react. Especially when the positives get next to the positives and the negatives to the negatives. Stuff, that's when stuff really happens. So it was a very stable one. It looks to be like it might be starting to show signs of, coming a little bit more unstable. So just have to keep an eye on it. Data for ACE data. This is density. Notice how we've had an uptick. It's not real high, because this range over here is only 1 to 10. A lot of times during like solar wind stream increases, and this will probably happen, it'll go from 0 to 100. So the uptick you see here isn't as aggressive as what it could be. If this was 0 to 100 and this looked the same, then that would be very aggressive, because then you're talking from probably like a 5 in density to a 75. Right now we're only talking like a 3 to a 5 or 6. Okay, so you see the difference? Normal is 4. Anything above 4 is out of the norm and could give us increased conditions. Solar wind speed, same thing. In between 300 and 500 is normal. Notice most of this range is below normal. So what we're getting right now is very slow wind speed, which it actually helps weaken the stream. The faster it's moving and the more dense it's moving, that's when we take the big hits. The BZ, that is the angle of which these hit us. We look for the negative. -6 or bigger. Obviously the range only goes down to -6 right now, so we're not getting close to that. But it does seem to be, leaning more towards the negativity right now, right there. The negative aspect, the angle of it. Phi angle, it did a flip back here. Polarity flip. Solar wind is charged particles, so that means it has a negative and a positive. Every once in a while, sometimes multiple times in a day, it will flip. The polarity of it will change, and when it does that, sometimes it'll jerk on the Earth magnetically, and we'll see issues with it as far as geomagnetic storm stuff, increased aurora, all that kind of thing. Temperature really low, and that's probably because of the wind speed. Enlil model. This is NOAA's model prediction. Green line, conditions at Earth. Okay, this is the density I was just showing you over there with the orange bar. That we're right here in time. Well, about right here. So this is predicting out here. Now notice it's 0 to 20. Okay, remember 4 is normal. We always got to look at the range because it changes. And again, green lines, conditions at Earth. Notice stereo A. Red line. Here is stereo A. Here is the Earth. Here's the sun. This is a top-down view. So it gives you a relationable visual there that we can tell the direction of things. Why are we seeing a hump here, right? An increase? That's because the sun had a CME and it blew towards stereo A, not us. And I'll talk about that more here in a minute. But the wind speed picked up too. Also, we're seeing a slight increase there. Now again, this is their predictions. This isn't set in stone. As more data comes in, that will change, I promise you. So if we go over here, this is the Aurora Borealis. This is the North Pole on the left, South Pole on the right. I hadn't been showing this one, but I was just showing the northern one. But I find it interesting that the Borealis are visible over geographic north, or south, I mean. Okay, but it's not on the northern hemisphere. Geographic North Pole, you don't see much aurora anymore. The reason why, magnetically, the North and South Pole are coming closer to each other, and the North Pole is moving faster. So it's gotten magnetically has gotten pulled. So that's why it's not directly over geographic, like the candy cane that you would think of. The barber pole, when most people talk about North Pole, that's what they think. Or South Pole for that matter. But all this is saying is that we're having auroras, okay? And it gives you a prediction. So there's the North Pole, here's the South Pole. This is the most recent. Okay, it'll tell you 30 minutes of predictability out in front, okay? So 30 minutes at the end of this is a prediction. Everything else is historic, which means that's exactly the conditions we experienced. Okay, so it'll give you a 30-minute prediction. Aurora photographers really like looking at these things because it does help them, get captures, get pictures. All right, this is a solar wind. Or on our magnetosphere, the sun's off to the left, the Earth is here. Things should be moving from left to right because the sun's to the left. Remember, this is charged particles hitting our magnetosphere, our magnetic field, our shields, okay, for lack of a better term. This is the speed of which that is moving. So what we're going to see here is just a little slight increase, little bump there on the beginning. Okay, again, this is just showing the speed of it. This really doesn't look all that impressive, just so you know, people that haven't seen this before. This is the density of those particles. That's all that this is showing us. Now, I did see something kind of weird on here. When we start taking this hit, look what happens. Okay, our bow shock is always there. This is exposing where the bow shock is. That's our initial point where a magnetic field hits the solar wind. That's all the bow shock is. It's always there. Don't let anybody tell you it went down, because if they're saying that, they don't know what they're talking about, because that would mean the solar wind would have to stop or the Earth's magnetic field went completely away, and that's not what's happening. But as you can see here, see this little U-shaped anomaly that's right in front of us? I've been talking about this for a minute. That means that things are getting through here easier because it's more dense. So when we got hit, it allowed more particles to accumulate right there. And it's right in front of us. So just keep that in mind. I've been noticing that anomaly. And our magnetic field is 25% weaker than what it was, or what it really should be, to help protect us against that stuff. So here's the pressure. And that's what you're going to see here too. You can kind of even see the little anomaly there. Alright. This is just showing the pressure of it, just so you know. Alright. So, this is the other magnetopause models. Things are from the right to the left. The sun's off to the right on these. Not going to spend too much time on these because I just explained everything on the other ones. But as you can see, we get compressed when we get hit, and then we rapidly expand. Okay? And we got solar wind right there. Okay? That's the wind. That's the speed of it. I don't really trust that completely because none of the other models ever show things as high as this thing gets sometimes. These are the older models. It doesn't make them, not useful, because they are. So as you can see, that's the direction of the wind, the arrows, and that's what we're seeing right now. Nothing too hard or anything like that. Lines of magnetism. Right there. Okay. The blue ones are our connection to the sun and other celestial objects. The black are the pole lines. And those come off our poles and stretch back. The red lines are our closed field lines. Not much to really talk about here because not much is going on with that. So I'm not going to waste your guys' time. This is the Australian model, the best one I think to use because it does give us the data in the most simple way. This is the density, this is the speed, this is the BZ I was just talking about, and we look for -6 or bigger. You're seeing this jump around. That's our bow shock, like I talked about before, where the solar wind meets our magnetic field. Now you see it jumping around. Watch the density when it starts jumping around. It'll go low. It's getting ready to happen. See it? And it dropped right out. And then when it gets high again, what happens? We compress again. So that all that means is the density dropped out a little bit, and we were able to push back against it harder. That's all that means. But remember, normal is 4, so that's 4 times normal. Now it's not like unheard of to see stuff like that. We've seen it in the hundreds, but it's still significant. So we can see, we're getting geomagnetic unrest. Geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. And we're not going to see a whole lot here, guys. It's not doing much of anything. So, I'm not going to waste your time showing you this either. But as the solar wind does arrive, this will start to increase. Again, it's space weather's effect on unnatural electrical components like transformers, wires, all of that. I already showed you that. This is seeds. We had a CME yesterday, and I know it looks like this. This is the satellite here. Earth is sitting here. The satellite's right out in front of it. So it's our view. Now I know it looks like it could be coming at us, but it's actually going off the backside. So let me show you. Right here. Well, this ain't going to show you. I got to take you over to the other model. Here. So if I take you to that day, watch the CME blow off. See it? The Earth, the satellite's here. The Earth is over here. So you see the CME blow off the backside. Now that's a sun diver. I talked about that in my last live stream. That's what you're seeing. So there you go with that. The sun did eat it up. Now there was a second one there I want to show you guys too. And I showed it to you guys yesterday. It's over here. Okay, here's this one. See, the Earth is here and the satellite is right out in front of us, right? This one's from the side. That's why the view's different. So as this comes in, you can see a second one right here. Okay, so we got two sun divers right there, most likely. Now watch the jump in time. It jumps in time right there, and then now it's behind the occulter. I'm not seeing that other sun diver, but I don't see it. Like we still see a little bit of this tail, so we really should see a little tail here too if it was like a lens anomaly. But I don't think it is. I'm not sure. I do think it could have possibly been two sun divers. I'm not sure 100% yet, but it does look to be that. Here is the same view that I showed you here. Alright, notice that this thing doesn't give us anything on the 18th. So if this is the only tool you would look at, you would think it was missing data, but it's not. Okay, because if we go over here, we get to see the data. See it? Okay, here's that sun diver. Here's the other one over here. Okay, it is jumping around a little bit, so we are missing a little bit of time, but it's not something that, if they were going to try to do it on purpose to try to hide something, guys, they would eliminate it from the source. In other words, the data we were getting from the satellite, that's where they would take it away. We wouldn't see it anywhere. So the fact that I can go somewhere else and find the data means that they are not trying to hide something right there. That's just what it is, So when somebody says it's missing time or missing data, if you don't go look at the other sources, you can't really say that. Now we need to be skeptical. We need to always question, because we know we don't always get told the truth. All right. So what I'm saying here is that we need to eliminate the fact that, if we can find it somewhere else, then we shouldn't be coming out here saying it's missing data. I used to do the same thing. And, I've been, with Scott's help and other people, I've been able to go look other places now. I know where to go look to see it. If you guys want to know where to go look, I'm showing you a couple of the places. Just know that what you're looking at here, guys, when you're looking at ISWA, you're looking at ISWA's interpretation of everything here. It's still getting the same data. They're just showing you different models. This is SOHO. This is Stereo A. Okay? Stereo A's data can be seen other places. Right here. These guys are not the same entity. Okay? You got different colleges running different models. You got different... It's like a weather model, guys. When you're looking at hurricanes, you see the European model, American, Navy, all that, those models, the spaghetti strings. It's just like that. They're all using the same data from the same satellites. It's just they're putting it into different models. So the data is still there. You have to know where to go look to find it. That's my only point there. Okay, the sunspots, we got two of them now. Again, this one made it around the sun for the third time. Like I said, it looks to be splitting in half right now. But, whether it is or not, that's another story. You guys can take a look at this. This is an anomaly that happens with Jupiter sometimes. I know that a lot of people are going to think that this is some sort of beam me up Scotty. At least do yourself a favor and read what they say that it is. This is spaceweather.com. These guys are do a very good job. You can just simply Google this, what causes this. It's a mirage effect from our atmosphere and other conditions. Okay, that's what they say it is. Now, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but please at least go look at what they say it is. That's all. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not even sure where I fall into that. But, you know, at the end of the day, at least go look at what everybody is saying, not just one person. And that's why I show it to you guys, so you guys can go do that. Don't listen to me. Go look at this stuff for yourself, please. Noctilucent clouds. That is water vapor that gets up to the highest parts of our atmosphere, and it freezes around meteor dust. That's what causes these. This is the South Pole. It happens in the summertime in each pole. So in 6 months, this will be on the North Pole. Now this is significant because these were 2 weeks late this year. So what does that mean? It means our climate was different down there for 2 weeks. Because it wasn't producing the water vapor like it normally does. So that means a temperature difference at some level there. And also, something else that can affect this would be our jet stream patterns. Because it can blow that meteor dust around, I would think. So if our jet streams are all whacked out, and they are, we start seeing them in places like Argentina. They've only been looking at these things for 50 to 60 years. Okay? They've only seen it a handful of times outside of the South or North Pole. And this year, we've seen it twice in Argentina, along with these things being 2 weeks late. So it does point to something is not the same. That's what I'm saying. Near Earth objects. Looks like they've added a couple here. This LD means lunar distance. Okay. The distance between us and the moon. That's what you're seeing there. Hopefully you guys can look at this. They'll add things when they see it. Notice that over here it says 2021. Some of them say 2019. There's going to be some other dates down through here probably. I'm not sure what the 65717 is. Why that doesn't have a year in front of it. But here's a 2018, 2016. What that's telling you is they usually incorporate the year it's discovered in its name. So notice all the 2021s. So those were just discovered this year. We're what? We're 17, 18 days into this year. So understand that. Billy Bob Thornton said it the best way, guys, in Armageddon. Begging your pardon, Mr. President. It's a big-ass sky. It's a very daunting task to think that we can go out and look at everything and see every meteorite that's coming at us. It's not possible. Just saying. At least not at this point in time with our technology. Things have gotten better, but that's why we even have lists like this. They also do something here too, and I was talking about it in my live stream. This is cosmic ray dosage, radiation dosages. They do a really good thing over here at spaceweather.com. These are flight numbers. So they're telling you which flights are going to be experiencing more radiation. Why does that matter? Well, it matters to prenatal passengers because it's like getting an x-ray. You know, cabin crew, pilots, all that stuff. The higher altitude and the higher latitudes that you are, which means the closer you are to the poles, the more susceptible you're going to be to this radiation from cosmic rays. So they've taken it a step further and they're trying to map this out to help that. They've given flights dosage rates. So I think that's a cool thing to do. I think it really helps. So, yeah. Earthquakes. You know, a lot of people have been talking about the West Coast right now because there was a rash of 4 plus over here. And there was. Right now, conditions seem like they may have quieted down quite a bit. I'm not seeing a whole lot here, guys. There was a strange one up here in Maine. One here in Missouri. But you know, we see them from there from time to time. They weren't big, so it didn't cause any issues or anything like that. But when I see a map like this, the first thing I think of, oh my gosh, pressure is building. Okay? So what that means is that pressure eventually is going to have to be released. And we don't want it to wait too long, because whenever it does that, that's when you see the big ones. Alright? So, yeah. This coming week, guys, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Rip Curl. We're trying to hammer out a time, and we're going to do that. If you guys want to know some information on prepping and how to do things, I would encourage you guys to go sub up to his channel here, guys. He shows you guys can see his content here. It's awesome. He puts a humor spin on everything, and I would encourage everybody to go check him out. We're gonna get together and do a show together. I'm not sure if it's gonna be live stream or if it's gonna be recorded, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to prepping materials and how to do things like this. Okay. Somebody else also would be Emergency Management Associates, Ron Tyler. Okay, he does live streams just about every day. He's a great guy. He knows what he's talking about he knows how to read seismos and preparedness stuff, guys. Go check him out. Check him out. Ricky is now starting up her own channel. You guys know who Ricky is usually. She's in here a lot. She's one of my mods. Where is she at? There she is. Okay, she's got her own channel going right here. She's starting to do more and more videos. I would encourage you guys to go check her out. She's trying her best to do the best she can over here. And, you know, so there you go. Also, you know, Scott hasn't done a video in a minute. Doesn't mean he ain't watching things, guys. Okay, because I know he is. So just know that. He just hasn't had the time to do any kind of videos or anything like that. Also, I would encourage you guys to go check out Mark Pyers. You guys know that. This is all about positivity, and this is where this is at. It's real talk, but we do a positive thing over there, and we laugh. He's a great musician. I say that a lot, and listen, guys, that's just all I'm going to say. I know I've talked about and told you guys who he is. Please just go check him out. Give it a chance. But we are going to be doing like I said, me and Rip are going to be doing a live stream or a video together. So look for that. I'll let you guys know beforehand when that's getting ready to happen. But before that, just go over and check out his channel. Give him some love over here. We got to support each other. All right, let's see if we can't get that above 3,000 for him. All right, at least, if not more. I'd love to see to get him to 3,500 or something. Just watch a couple of his videos. Give him a subscription. Give him a chance. That's all I'm asking. You guys will not be sorry for it. I promise you. Okay? He's funny, number one. And that, you know, but you're going to learn something too about what to do when stuff is going down. So, anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.